6:01.
All right, let's go ahead and call this meeting order of August 11th, 2026, 6 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Councilmember Wood,
Here.
Councilmember Richardson,
Present.
Councilmember Arias. Here. Councilmember Pangeiser. Here. Councilmember Hess,
Excused.
Councilmember Johnstone.
Here.
Councilmember Pangeiser.
Kaminsky.
Kaminsky, I'm sorry. Here. Mayor Pinto.
Here. All right, moving on to agenda approval. Can we get a motion to approve the agenda?
Move to approve.
Councilmember Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Kaminsky, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, moving on to special presentations, none scheduled. Moving on to public comment. If there's anyone that wishes to testify, please fill out a blue card. And we got one person so far. Elias, would you please step up to the podium and state your name and what you're here to talk about?
Hello, my name is Elias Johnson, and I am here to talk about the establishment of a youth council in Yelm. I've talked about this subject before a couple months ago, and I was sent an email, and I was informed that the city did not currently have the time or resources to work on it. So I'm hoping that over the course of the next school year or part of it, we can try to solve all those problems and work together to hopefully establish a youth council we can use to improve Yelm and our communities. And yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Elias. Just to go off that just a little bit, we are working on creating that student council. Councilor Arias is spearheading this. They're exchanging information, I believe, and we'll move forward. And hopefully early next year, we can have that actually up and running, go through council process and all that. But that's kind of the timeline that we're set on right now. Thank you. Anyone else in the public? Anyone else online?
Don't have any hands raised online.
All right, moving on to consent agenda. We got the June 2026 register and financial summary, the July 28, 2026 regular meeting minutes. That's it. Any discussion, motions? Councilmember Kaminsky?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Wood. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to new business. We have professional services agreement, metrics for Roten Road, amendment number 2. Brad.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So this is amendment number 2 to the professional services agreement for the Roten Road project, the reconstruction project. A little bit of background. You may remember back in May of 25, you guys approved the agreement for 60% of the project. At that time, we weren't sure what the right of way take was going to be on this. Now that we have a better idea, we can actually move this forward into full design. Also, last year in October, we did an amendment to add that water main. We're tearing up the road, we might as well do the water main at the same time. So because of its age. So we've got a ton of grant money on this one. We've got just about 5 million in grant funds currently and always looking for more. So this is a huge leg up for Yelm to get this Roten Road corridor through, especially with Yelm Loop coming. So we hear. So if there's any question.
Councilor Wood.
So the 817,375 is grant coming out of a grant.
Yes.
Very good. Well, with that, I move we authorize Mayor DePinto to approve amendment number 2 to the Roten Road Reconstruction Professional Services Agreement with Paramatrix to expand from 60% to 100% design, engineering, and right-of-way services, including a sidewalk connector on railway in the amount of $817,375.98.
Second that.
Second by Councilor Richardson. Is there
96 cents.
Thank you for that correction. Second
that.
by Councilor Richardson. Is there any further discussion on this? All right, we'll take we'll just go normal voice vote. Sorry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, council. Thank you, Brad. All right, moving on, new business, item B, we have a city attorney contract for prosecutor services. Kathy.
Thank you, Mayor. So we have two attorney contracts. I'll kind of just cover both of them since they're back to back. They're the same. Previously, we approved, we didn't, you did. The city council approved a contract for attorney services in 2021. That contract did expire. And so we reached out to our attorney and they are renewing the contract for the same price that we have currently. There's no changes to the contract for the cost or the services. The one small change that is made is the previous contract was written to automatically renew for a 1-year term, and it had an end date of January 1st of 2025. This contract does not have the end date. It renews every year for a 1-year term. The other thing to note with the attorney contract is it does have a clause in there that it can be canceled with a 30-day notice. If at any point in time, the city decided to change attorney services for whatever reason, it's takes a letter and a 30-day notice to cancel the contract. So we're not tied into any length of time if there are changes to be made.
Questions, comments? Councilor Richardson?
In that 30-day contract cancellation, is the attorney obligated to fulfill their duties or? Okay.
Yes.
Other questions, comments? Councilor Wood?
I move we approve the contract with Dilly Law for both prosecutor services as well as civil services.
They're two separate items.
Oh, we can't do them
If
together?
we can do them separately.
All right. What I meant to say was I move we approve the contract with Dilly Law for prosecutor services.
Second.
Second by Councilor Kaminsky. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, now moving on to city attorney contract for civil services. Kathy, just want to brief again real quick.
Exactly the same as what is the other contract. It's the same exact terms or amount that we're paying currently. There's no increase in the cost or changes in the services for this contract.
Questions, comments? Look for a motion. Councilor Wood,
Well, I move we approve the contract with Dilly Law for civil services.
is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Kingheiser. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, council. Thank you, Kathy. Moving on to item D, professional service agreement with Stowe Development and Strategies LLC, amendment number 1. Kathy.
So I think you guys remember recently you approved the first contract with Stowe Developments for $20,000. We've now moved on to phase 2 for that agreement with Bob Stowe. This is continuing work for the Community Revitalization Fund District, CRF. Bob is working with Todd on this and the mayor and Cody, all to develop this, but he is very instrumental in this whole process to work with, they've met with the county and started discussions with the county. And as you know, they're also working still through with the fire department. It's a pretty complicated process, and having someone that has the expertise to be able to work through these things and make sure that it's done correctly is important to the project. So.
Questions, comments, Councilor Richardson?
Yeah, just one question, being that it's phase 2, and the not to exceed amount of 20,000. So this isn't, of course, it's not an extra 20,000, right? It's just a continuing on the first 20 with an extra phase. All right, this isn't like another 20,000 that we're asking?
This is an additional 20,000. Yes.
Clarify.
Correct. This was, we discussed at our study session, our last study session, regarding the extra 20. But yeah, like Kathy said, Bob has been instrumental in a lot of our meetings, including with the fire authority as well as the county, and Blue Fern, of course. So he's been great to work with. Councilor Kaminsky.
Is there a time limit on this, or is it just through phase 2?
I believe it's just through phase 2. Well, it says through phase 2, but he does charge hourly, and there's a pool that we that it draws from, that,
So just until this is used up.
correct, but that we don't anticipate it going over on this one. Other questions, comments? Look for a motion. Councilor Wood,
Well, I move we authorize Mayor DePinto to amend the professional services agreement with Stowe Development Strategies LLC for phase two. In the not to exceed amount of $20,000.
Second that.
second by Councilor Richardson. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, council. Thank you, Kathy. Moving on to old business, there's none scheduled. Moving to standing council committee report, starting with the public safety committee. No meeting. Thank you. Moving on to public services committee.
I don't think we had a meeting.
All right. Moving on to finance committee. I know you're meeting soon, but
Yeah, Finance Committee met tonight. We have a few different municipal code changes and repeals that we're going to propose. I think we're gonna talk about that a little bit more next month, so I can report on that then. We also will have a budget amendment coming in the next few months. One of them will discuss a capital projects fund for the 640, so they can keep track of all of the expenses related to that. We got a $15,000 grant from the tribe for flock cameras. 5,000 park grant, and we had to spend $10,000 to fix the roll-up window at the court. That's it.
all right, thank you. General government committee. All right, Mayor, city minister staff reports. Hot is gone on at a conference, so I will be the one doing the staff reports as well. Currently we are hiring for a administrative assistant. This is to fill our longtime employee Michelle's position. Obviously, we can't fill her shoes. We can fill the position as we need to continue the front service counter and a lot of other stuff actually too. So that's going well. We have a lot of applicants on it right now, and we'll be going through that hiring process through this month, I believe. We are bringing the activated alleyway to council next month,
September 8th.
September 8th, and that'll be for the full build out.
Yes.
That one. Thank you for the assist. Yelm Loop, it continues to we are at the point where, and I say we in the grand scheme of things, we as in WASDOT has been delaying this a few times. One of them was or a couple was, this is after the bids have gone out too. So the bids have gone out, they've opened the bids. WASDOT has delayed a few times, and Brad, feel free to correct me here if I'm wrong. First couple was land acquisition. The process was a little bit lengthy, longer than they anticipated. It's unfortunate, but we're at their whim. And then this last one was more on a new appendix that they added for sewer, for a sewer pipe size. Is that?
No, and I'm trying to remember. It's happened so many times. I'm trying to remember. I couldn't say off the top of my head.
I believe it was, but it maybe not. But it was something to do with schematics. Is that fair for size?
Yeah.
And so they delayed it until next week now. This has been fortunate. It should have been done end of May, I believe, when the bids have gone out. So it's unfortunate, but the end is in sight. They say next week is the final one, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. We'll see next week and I'll report back to everybody. But other than that, they're still gung-ho about starting with the roundabout this year, and so it will be constructed. Other than that, we have been meeting, city has been meeting with a few different folks, including the county and the fire authority regarding 640 acres and their involvement with that. The conversations are going well. Bob's been a part of those conversations as well, explain different concepts of it, parts of it. And lastly, we're working with the school district to finalize a SRO contract that we should be bringing hopefully at this next council meeting. Any questions for me? All right, we'll move on to city council member reports. Starting with Councilor Wood.
I have a transportation policy board meeting in the morning, and maybe I might get an opportunity to have a conversation with the DOT guys. They may be.
Yeah.
But I just also wanted to express how great it was at all the turnout for the Jazz in the Park. It was a lot of folks really enjoying themselves and relaxing, and that was good to see the way, especially the way the world can be sometimes. Lately. But that's my report.
Thank you. Councilor Richardson.
Yeah, a real cool story in lieu of, all this loss happening in Spokane with wildfires and firefighters working hard. My dad was, we have a food ministry at Yelm Prairie Christian Center, and my dad helps out with that. And he was just talking to somebody in Burger King saying, "Hey, I'm looking, anybody need some drinks?" And it was referring to all the contract that he has with Pepsi and Gatorade. And then the guy was like, I think his name was Alan Acosta, with like the VFW somewhere. He goes, "Yeah, no, I've been trying to get some refreshments to the firefighters, in Spokane." So my dad was like, "Well, I got 5 pallets of Gatorade. Let's send them over." And so just that teamwork there, and then knowing that when you support, your local community, your nonprofits, your charities, your churches, and even local businesses. I mean, there's always this impact and influence that is far beyond what we think and know. And so I wanted to share that because it was really cool how that happened, just randomly out of Burger King talking to somebody, and they're like, "Let's do it." And so now I think they're going to get together this week or Thursday and try to move some more pallets in that direction. It was a success. They were appreciative of it. And, that's the kind of stuff I think that communities do that sometimes we forget or don't talk about. But kudos just to being community and to working together to help bring relief to other cities that are in right now a time of struggle and loss. So I just wanted to talk about that. I usually don't say nothing about my church, but that was pretty cool. So.
Aquarius.
Thank you. So I did attend the night out last week. That was a lot of fun. The hot dog was great. And then the only other reminder I have is the Thurston County Veterans Assistance Fund. They are funding grants to local organizations that deliver projects to veterans and their families. And so they've got grant applications open now through August, and that's going to be a 2-year grant. So just encourage people to look up the Thurston County Veterans Assistance Fund, and you can find all the information there. Thank you.
Thank you. Been a busy couple weeks since we met last. I actually had the privilege of being able to go on a home building bus tour that was hosted by Olympia Master Builders and the Thurston County Realtor Association. Apparently, this is an annual bus tour that happens. I was super excited because it fell on a Monday, and that's about the only day I have to really rearrange my schedule. My big takeaway from that was the challenges that builders face due to permitting. Kind of interesting just watching and going on this bus tour of seeing everything from land, grabbing the land, the actual construction, developers going through what the needs are for all of that. We actually got to tour a home that is supposed to be affordable, and it was quite a bit more expensive than I thought for the little bit that you get. So that was interesting. The Olympia Master Builders partnered or is partnering with SPSCC to create a Construction Academy. It's a 10-week hands-on course that gives experience to people of all ages and to learn the building process, and then learning to actually measure and swing a hammer and all of that. So it was really neat to see that trade come to life a little bit more and be supported that way. Lots to think about for me. National Night Out was, the whole area was booming. That was really neat to see that. I went to the STEPA Fire Commissioners meeting on the 5th. They were pretty pleased to see that the preliminary results for the election, they're holding just over 70%. So that looks like it's passing. Of course, that certification doesn't come in until the 18th. But that is really showing a great community support, and I'll be looking forward to all of those renovations coming out. They're really getting out there quite a lot more in the community. They've
had that open house not so long ago. They were a big part of our barbecue rally, and then they're coming up on rainier days, and they're going to be a part of that as well. So they seem to be getting busier and busier in the community as well. Another super fun fact is Scale Up is, might I stay back in town? They are hosting a special edition of tourism marketing. And so I started that 4-week course yesterday. Special thanks to the Washington State Department of Commerce for providing this class at a no cost. Other things that I found is there's so many small business resources. And the biggest one that I didn't really know about was My Startup 365.com is a great resource for basically a list of all of these types of no cost classes. So that was really neat. And then to finish up my day, I helped to serve dinner at the senior center yesterday with the Chamber of Commerce. So a beautiful 2 weeks, busy.
Hello, very good. Dr. Johnstone.
I have EMS council in 2 weeks. Other than that, no report.
All right, Councilmember Kaminsky.
I attended the chamber lunch today and we had a riveting discussion about taxes for businesses. I also went to the Jazz in the Park, which is really fun. And to follow up with Stephanie, I also attended the annual elected officials invitation to the master builders and the Thurston County Realtors. And their new slogan is it's not home affordability, it's home availability, which puts actually a better swing on what they're actually looking to do. And we did go to a developer's property in Olympia that he had purchased. It's all about the highest and best use of the property. So they're doing boundary adjustments and creating out of this 1.75 parcel, 6 lots. And each is gonna have a duplex. So there'll be, and an ADU on the duplex lots for 12 total units on this less than an acre parcel with the bus and everything right there. So that's what this zoning changes is all about. So then, yeah, the SPSCC thing was interesting, and they give the kids their vests and their tools and they get to go apprentice, I guess, with real contractors and learn the trades. Then at the end of this elected official thing, what was most prevalent to me is sitting there in a room with builders, with realtors, with everybody in the field and picking on the Thurston County people because they have all the rules and all the frustrated people that can't do their work because of the rules overlaid on them by other people, and the disconnect between the real world and how inefficient it is when the builders talk about, well, we just did our frog study, but now we got to do it again 2 weeks later because they didn't include it. They got to pay for more. It's just the whole system is completely inefficient. It's really interesting. And of course, the county is mandated federally and it goes all the way down the line. And when the rubber hits the road in our industry, none of it makes any kind of sense at all. And I wanted to bring up this thing because the city council in Tumwater is voting on this home energy score thing for houses. They have no idea how that would put the industry upside down that we do in real estate. And it's never been proven to help or do anything beneficial. So it's just looking at the red tape that we've created in all of our businesses. So I hope one day, I don't know if from the last time we went on the tour, if we solved any problems, but it would be great to see something get resolved in a good way. That's my report.
Also, I forgot to mention, Standard & Poor's has recently updated our credit rating for the city from AA minus, AA minus to AA, which is the highest we've been, I believe. So, pretty cool, yeah. It's absolutely fun. And I think the last time we increased was in 2026 or 27. No, excuse me. 24. Does that sound right? 24. So, yeah, City of Yelm is doing really well, especially in regards to how council is budgeting, our city finance department, and led by Stephanie, who's our finance director, has been doing a great job for us and keeping us on track and making sure we have enough money in reserves. And yeah, it's been doing a great job. So thank you. And also the finance department, who's doing all that work as well. They've been wonderful. So other than that, we have no executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn? Councilmember Ganzer,
Move to adjourn.
is there a second?
Second.
Right, Councilmember Kaminsky, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. We are adjourned.
Shall we give somebody else a chance, you know?